make a garden out of a pallet in the backyard. Let's see if this pin works. I had always wanted a raised garden, but wasn't quite sure how to go about building one. Pinterest gave me an easy idea to create this using pallets. First, we laid the pallets on the ground where I wanted the garden. Then my husband knocked out some boards so my vegetables would fit inside the slats. As he started using some spare wood we had to build a quick frame around the pallets, I filled them with compost, garden soil, and plants. It was not easy to fill the pallets up, and it took a lot more dirt than we had originally assumed. Once the garden was full of vegetables, I was impressed at how well it turned out. We even added a trellis along the back fence for our beans and cucumbers. The cost was only in dirt, compost, and plants. We got the pallets from a local store who was throwing them away, and the framing wood and nails we already had from previous projects. I loved my garden last year. It turned out great. My vegetables were big. My family was fed healthy food. Are you thinking of creating a raised garden this summer? Let's see how easy this pin is. After pulling up last year's Pallet Garden and deciding how big we wanted this year's garden to be, my husband started framing out the sides. He added a few small touches for me, like side seats and a long bench that goes across the entire back. It took a lot more dirt than we thought to fill this garden up. We used compost, topsoil, and peat moss. My husband also built these cute walkways to place in the garden wherever I wanted for easy access. Before we filled the garden up completely, I used a stain to protect the wood. After the stain dried, we took down a piece of our fence and finished filling up the garden with dirt. Here is my garden in full swing. I like the big bench in the back because I'm able to set my flower pots and little knickknacks on it. I am totally in love with how this looks. I love my garden this year. I wanted to take it up a notch from the Pallet Garden last year, so after we tore that up and we built this, my backyard is beautiful. I love it. It's quite expensive. We spent about $250 on the dirt. We started out buying bags with compost and just regular topsoil, and we were mixing that together. After we spent about $200 on just bags, we decided to take the truck and head over and just get a big load of topsoil in the back. Ended up being about $30. So after $250 of dirt, my garden is almost full. We spent about $200 just on the wood for the framing and the bench in the back. So it can get quite expensive if you don't watch your costs. However, this is a total successful pin, and you should try this at home. Creating little designer stones for your garden? Let's see how easy this pin is. You will need outdoor acrylic paints to start with. I got mine at the local craft store for 69 cents each. Grab your paper towels, paintbrushes, and a protective sealant to finish it off. I got the stones for less than $1 each at the hardware store, and started by letting my kids paint them in any design and color they wanted. Some did Minecraft cakes and apples. Others did outdoor pictures or handprints. I just let them make these stones into anything. When the kids were done and the paint had dried, I sprayed them with the protective finish. Here are 2 stones my girls made about 7 years ago. These stones last a long time and make for great gifts. As you can see, these were so easy to make, and they turned out super cute. You can do any design, anything that you want. Make little stones for your garden with basil and corn and carrots. ideas are endless. So totally try this at home because this is a successful pen. Using stones to make markers for your garden. Let's see how easy this pen is. First, you're going to start with outdoor acrylic craft paint, paintbrushes, and rocks. Wash your rocks in the sink and make sure to let them dry all the way so you get all the dirt off of them before painting. After your rocks dry, you're going to want to write on them with your paintbrush the name of any vegetable that's in your garden. After I got all the vegetables written on my rocks, I brought them outside and sprayed them with a UV resistant clear coat. I love my little garden stones. So this was a totally successful pen. You can do just about anything you want with these. You can make them into little pieces of corn or little carrots or beans and set them out there instead of writing the words. You can write the words and draw pictures. You can just write words like I did. You can use any color, any type of rock that you want. I just used what was in my backyard. It didn't cost me a thing to make these. And my garden is going to love me all summer for it. This is a totally successful pen and you should try it at home. Creating a rain barrel to water your plants and garden this summer? Let's see how easy this pen is. To begin with, we created a flat platform for our barrel to set on. Then we added a water spigot. We cut a hole in the top of our barrel just big enough for the gutter to fit in. We added a piece of screen underneath the lid to catch all of the debris we don't want in our water. We created 2 rain barrels, one on either side of the yard. Now we can water anything that we need. So as you can see, this is a super successful pen. The only thing that I would suggest is we don't get a lot of water pressure. So I read online that if you add a pump to it, you will get more water pressure, but that kind of defeated the purpose for us of saving money to water our garden. But you can also create a platform and put your water barrel up 4 feet in the air, and gravity helps with the water pressure that way. Creating your own trickle hose for the garden? Let's see how easy this pen is. You're going to start with an old hose. Grab your hammer and an ice pick. Lay your hose in your flower bed, however you want it to be. Then poke holes in the hose about 6 inches apart, or just poke holes around each flower or bush. After your holes are poked, cover with a thin layer of dirt and mulch to hide it. This is perfect for watering your flowers all year long. It took me maybe 5 minutes to poke all the holes in the hose with the ice pick. I hooked my trickle hose up to my rain barrel just for trying to save water to water our garden this summer. I totally love this idea. It was a great pin, and if you want a trickle hose at home, you should try this out. Today we're going to see how easy it is to make a watering can out of a milk jug. Love this pin! You're going to need a milk jug, empty, cleaned, and washed out, a hammer, and an ice chisel. Take the cap outside, set it on some concrete, use your ice pick, hammer it down and make little holes in the cap. Here's what my cap looked like after I was done poking the holes. After placing the cap on the milk jug, make sure you screw it on as tight as possible. Then come outside and water your plants. Works perfect. So this is a totally successful pin. We all have empty milk jugs that we at home that we just throw away in the recycling a couple times a week. Why not save them? All of your kids can have their own watering can and help you in the garden or around the yard or in the house. They can make them and decorate them however they want. All you have to do is poke some holes in the top and you're good to go. Using chalkboard spray paint on rocks to create little markers for your garden. Let's see how easy this is. Begin by grabbing your chalkboard spray paint. Then some rocks that have been washed and dried. And finally, a piece of chalk. Lay your rocks out so that way you can spray them. After you're done spraying them, make sure to let them dry for 24 hours. After they've dried, write on them with your chalk. Okay, so as you can see, it turned out really cute. The type of rock, like if it's smooth or not smooth, really determines how easy it is to write. So if you are going for a really nice, clear, crisp word, don't pick rocks that have a lot of bumps on them. I would not put these out in your garden, like in your yard, but as you can see, I'm using mine for my herb garden, which is inside in my window. So this is gonna be perfect. They're not really gonna get wet. If they do, I can just wipe it off and write it again. As a matter of fact, it comes off very, very, very easily. And you can just write on there something else that you want. This would be cute for pet rocks for your kids too. This is a totally successful pin and you should try it at home. Don't leave yet. Wait, wait, wait. Have you subscribed to my channel for daily DIY Pinterest videos? What are you waiting for? Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.